Hey guys, I'm currently visiting some family for the holidays, and since I'm up before most other people, got pretty bored and started watching some videos on the internet. And I am not familiar really with the Gear Gods channel, but lately I have been wanting to rebuild my own gear. When I'm doing writing, um, I like to it feels to me as if the instruments that I choose and the gear that I choose has its own kind of spirit to it. And I know that seems weird, but all of the material for the Jurisprudence record was written on one guitar. And when I look at that guitar, I associate that guitar with that album. And after that band dissolved, I wanted to do something new, and I was tired of lugging all the same shit around that I always have. Because to me, the sounds that came out of my gear represented that band, and I wanted to start over. So I've been looking at gear lately, which I normally haven't I haven't done in a long time. But I stumbled across the Gear Gods channel, and the main person behind it is a very knowledgeable Berkeley student, much like Adam Neely, and I was very surprised and kind of thrilled to see that he has a section of the videos that he works on devoted to songwriting, because that's definitely not a focus for a lot of people making music today. Usually, when you're gonna make music, it's about how flashy your riffs are. Get something out there that is impressive looking for maybe a couple of seconds, and get some memes attached to it, and then you're golden. But he held a competition for a songwriting contest, and had like 1,500 subscribers actually jumping in and trying to send their stuff in. And I was I was pretty impressed by the amount of entrants and by the fact that the competition existed at all. But I was immediately let down when I heard the what the entrants were doing. I don't think that people, when they go into songwriting, understand what songwriting strengths can be, what can make like a legitimate artistic statement. I don't think that that's really a focus. And if you're a modern metal player, 99% of what you write is going to belong to the gent subgenre. So I'm sure he got flooded with like 1,200 gent entries, and his focus is pretty metal related. So I anticipated seeing a lot of that, and I did see a lot of that, but I was most let down by seeing what the winner was. And the guy that runs it, I of course am gonna not agree with half the stuff he says, because he's your typical like fringe metal hipster guy that has a knowledge of theory and all that shit. So he's gonna be analytical, but not in terms of how the creative process works and about what the message behind songwriting can be. He's going to look at the mathematical language of songwriting is instead. And the number one winner of the contest was essentially a super polished pop song with a slight guitar edge to it. And I'm sure that when you're going to be grading 1,500 entries, you're going to be kind of biased towards what is produced the best. And this sounds like something that Swede that makes every fucking pop song in America would have shat out. It's got that really pristine edge to it, and it's what was really disappointing to me was that this is the winner of 1,500 entrants. So I was expecting to see some really adventurous arrangement, something that would have denoted that it was number one. If you're going to beat out all those entrants, you have to have something that I think would set you apart aside from the production value. But what made it win was the production and the hooks. And if you look at what the arrangement was, it's essentially an A B A B A B with B B in the chorus arrangement, and then a guitar solo, and then an outro, and that's it. But the hook was there. It sounded like, I don't know, something that maybe John Mayer or like Savage Garden could have put out. but with a little more guitar leaning. The guitar solo is your typical, blues box bullshit American guitarist solo, and it is what it is. It's a strong pop song, but number one, really? I didn't hear the other, 1,499 full songs, but I was really disappointed to see that this is the winner of the songwriting contest, and I was thrilled. I was thrilled to see that something like this existed. I was really excited that there's a channel out there that's focusing on songwriting, and the guy's got a massive following. He's got great production value. He's got charisma. People are going to follow him based on that, and he has regular kind of contests where people will send in riffs, people will send in arrangement ideas, and he'll talk about them. He'll showcase the band or the artist and the bedroom guitarist or whatever, and he'll dissect what they're doing. And for the most part, he does have some pretty good insights here and there. And I like that he's looking at arrangements and songwriting, and it's a dying art, so it's cool that there's this like really mainstream YouTube channel that's focusing on an idea that's kind of getting cast to the wayside. But then I see that he picked something based on it being an earworm, and still something that relies on the handicap of a tried and true arrangement tactic where it just hammers you with that chorus repeatedly. And the dude that wrote the song, he could sing, and that's huge. Not a whole lot of people can do that. If you want to have a really big hit song, of course you're going to have to rely on the vocals, but and that was there. That was definitely there. But I can imagine that a channel that has a ton of like progressive metal guitar players listening would have put in something. I would hope something that would have been a little bit more adventurous, something that actually had some kind of intellect behind it, some kind of actual heart behind it. Because if as catchy as your parts are, as pristine as your production is, if you're going to be using that arrangement where it's just A, B, A, B, A, B with B, B in the chorus, and the goal is to get that earworm into your audience and make sure that they're going to be humming it for the rest of the day. There's no mentality attached to that at all. It's just I have two parts that are catchy, and it's really glossy and pristine and sounds great, but there was no thought put into whether or not A could enhance B, or B could reflect on A, or whether there was a need for a C, or so on. There was no storytelling here. And when you think about songwriting, you should think about storytelling. And for something that had this many entrants, I was fucking flabbergasted that was the winner. But it goes to show you what is going to win out over the masses. It's always going to be whatever has the best sound to it, whatever has the catchiest aspects to it, whatever has the vocal part to it, because deep down, like everybody that is a casual music listener is going to affix themselves to the vocals, because chances are the vocals are going to relate to tried and true boring ass topics about, love and desire and fleeting shit like that. And of course, you're going to have people relating to that because most people are basic as fuck. And here we had a pretty basic lyrical idea that relied on cliches, like every other quasi-love song, that was enhanced by modern production and a little bit of guitar, and it won. And it's a shame, because I'm gonna probably watch a lot more of this guy, because I like that there is a focus on songwriting out there and on a popular YouTube channel. But I had my hopes dashed real hard when I found out what the winner was. I was ready to take notes myself. I was ready to be like, okay, how can I learn from a winner in a songwriting contest? And man, it was just totally bankrupt at the end. But I mean, that's what modern internet is. The winner of the contest suffers from the same handicap that the guy that runs the channel has. It's making sure that you have the charisma there, making sure that you have superficial talking points there, and the rest of the stuff really doesn't seem to matter. And it's disappointing, but at least it's something that it's standing out a little bit. It's a channel that is showing that there's more to just writing a 15-second guitar riff, and that there's some strengths to be had in songwriting. I like that people are looking at it as something that maybe they could chase objective value with. It's cool that there's something that is that there's a channel that is grading people based on songwriting prowess to show that it's not just whether or not you like something. It's to show that there's strengths to be had. There's techniques to learn. So that's cool. But man, was I fucking let down. Man, was I let down. So I'm going to get back to this Christmas vacation. But feel free to check out that channel. Like I said, I'm not endorsing the channel. I like the idea that there's someone out there that's showing this kind of a focus. And he didn't put up a link to the song at all, but it's called Wishing Well by Hellis. I think it was Helles, something like that. But he'll talk about it on the channel, but he won't post a link. You could find it. It's on SoundCloud if you want to hear what the winner was. Not that it's relevant at all to a metal-based channel, but yeah, everybody enjoy the rest of your Christmas vacation if you are having one, and I will talk to you guys soon.